Day 62 of reading through the scriptures. Exodus 12. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe and to Aharon in the land of Mitzrayim, saying, This new moon is the beginning of new moons for you, and it is the first new moon of the year for you. Speak to all the congregation of Israel, saying, On the 10th day of this new moon, each one of them is to take for himself a lamb according to the house of his father, a lamb for a household. And if the household is too small for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next to his house take it according to the number of the beings, according to each man's need. You make account for the lamb. Let the lamb be a perfect one, a year-old male. Take it from the sheep or from the goats. And you shall keep it until the 14th day of the new moon. Then all the assembly of the congregation of Israel shall slay it between the evenings. And they shall take some of the blood and put it on the 2 doorposts, and on the lintel of the houses where they eat it. And they shall eat the flesh on that night, roasted in fire, with unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. Do not eat it raw, nor boiled at all with water, but roasted in fire, its head with its legs and its inward parts. Do not leave of it until morning, and what remains of it until morning you are to burn with fire. This is how you eat it: your loins girded, your sandals on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and you shall eat it in haste. It is the Pesach of Yahweh, and I shall pass through the land of Mitzrayim on that night, and shall strike all the firstborn of the land in the land of Mitzrayim, both man and beast. And on all the mighty ones of Mitzrayim I shall execute judgment. I am Yahweh. And the blood shall be a sign for you on the houses where you are. And when I see the blood, I shall pass over you, and let the plague not come on you to destroy you when I strike the land of Mitzrayim. And this day shall become to you a remembrance, and you shall celebrate it as a festival to Yahweh throughout your generations. Celebrate it as a festival, an everlasting law. 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread. Indeed, on the first day you caused leaven to cease from your houses. For whoever eats leavened bread from the first day until the 7th day, that being shall be cut off from Israel. And on the first day is a set-apart gathering, and on the 7th day you have a set-apart gathering. No work at all is done on them, only that which is eaten by every being, that alone is prepared by you. And you shall guard the festival of Matzah, for on this same day I brought your divisions out of the land of Mitzrayim. And you shall guard this day throughout your generations, an everlasting law. In the first month, on the 14th day of the new moon, in the evening you shall eat unleavened bread until the 21st day of the new moon in the evening. For 7 days no leaven is to be found in your houses. For if anyone eats what is leavened, that same being shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel, whether sojourner or native of the land. Do not eat that which is leavened. In all your dwellings you are to eat unleavened bread. And Moshe called for the elders of Israel and said to them, Go out and take lambs for yourselves, according to your clans, and slay the Pesach. And you shall take a bunch of hyssop, and dip it in the blood that is in the basin, and strike the lintel and the 2 doorposts with the blood that is in the basin, and none of you shall go out of the door of his house until morning. And Yahweh shall pass on to smite the Mitzrites, and shall see the blood on the lintel and on the 2 doorposts, and Yahweh shall pass over the door, and not allow the destroyer to come into your houses to smite you. And you shall guard this word as a law for you and your sons forever. And it shall be, when you come to the land which Yahweh gives you, as he promised, that you shall guard this service. And it shall be, when your children say to you, What does this service mean to you? Then you shall say, It is the Pesach slaughtering of Yahweh, who passed over the houses of the children of Israel in Mitzrayim, when he smote the Mitzrites and delivered our households. And the people bowed their heads and did obeisance. And the children of Israel went away and did so, as Yahweh had commanded Moshe and Aaron, so they did. And it came to be at midnight that Yahweh struck all the firstborn in the land of Mitzrayim, with the firstborn from the firstborn of Pharaoh who sat on his throne, to the firstborn of the captive who was in the dungeon, and all the firstborn of livestock. And Pharaoh rose up in the night, he and all his servants and all the Mitzrites. And there was a great cry in Mitzrayim, for there was not a house where there was not a dead one. Then he called for Moshe and Aharon by night and said, "Arise, go out from the midst of my people, both you and the children of Israel, and go, serve Yahweh as you have said. Take both your flocks and your herds as you have said, and go. Then you shall bless me too." And the Mitzrites were strong on the people to hasten to send them away out of the land, for they said, "We are all dying." And the people took their dough before it was leavened, having their kneading bowls bound up in their garments on their shoulders. And the children of Israel had done according to the word of Moshe. They had asked the Mitzrites for objects of silver and objects of gold and garments. And Yahweh gave the people favor in the eyes of the Mitzrites, so that they gave them what they asked. And thus they plundered the Mitzrites. And the children of Israel set out from Ramses to Succoth, about 600,000 men on foot, besides the little ones. And a mixed multitude went up with them too, also flocks and herds, very much livestock. And they baked unleavened cakes of the dough which they had brought out of Mitzrayim. For it was not leavened, since they were driven out of Mitzrayim, and they had not been able to delay, nor had they prepared food for themselves. And the sojourn of the children of Israel who lived in Mitzrayim was 430 years. And it came to be at the end of the 430 years, on that same day it came to be that all the divisions of Yahweh went out from the land of Mitzrayim. It is a night of watches unto Yahweh for bringing them out of the land of Mitzrayim. This is the night of watches unto Yahweh for all the generations of Israel throughout their generations. And Yahweh said to Moshe and Aharon, "This is the law of the Pesach. No son of a stranger is to eat of it. But any servant a man has bought for silver, when you have circumcised him, then let him eat of it. A sojourner and a hired servant does not eat of it. It is eaten in one house. You are not to take any of the flesh outside of the house, nor are you to break any bone of it. All the congregation of Israel are to perform it. And when a stranger sojourns with you and shall perform the Pesach to Yahweh, let all his males be circumcised, and let him come near and perform it, and he shall be as a native of the land. But let no uncircumcised eat of it. This is one Torah for the native born and for the strangers who sojourns among you." And all the children of Israel did as Yahweh commanded Moshe and Aharon, so they did. And it came to be on that same day that Yahweh brought the children of Israel out of the land of Mitzrayim according to their divisions. Isaiah 62. For Zion's sake I am not silent, and for Jerusalem's sake I do not rest, until her righteousness goes forth as brightness, and her deliverance as a lamp that burns. And the nations shall see your righteousness, and all sovereigns your esteem. And you shall be called by a new name, which the mouth of Yahweh designates. And you shall be a crown of comeliness in the hand of Yahweh, a royal headdress in the hand of your Elohim. No longer are you called forsaken, and no longer is your land called deserted, but you shall be called Hephzibah, and your land married, for Yahweh shall delight in you, and your land be married. For as a young man marries a maiden, so shall your sons marry you. And as a bridegroom rejoices over the bride, so shall your Elohim rejoice over you. I have set watchmen on your walls, O Jerusalem, all the day and all the night, continually, who are not silent. You who remember Yahweh, give yourselves no rest, and give him no rest, until he establishes, until he makes Jerusalem a praise in all the earth. Yahweh has sworn by his right hand and by the arm of his strength. No more do I give your grain to be food for your enemies, nor do sons of the foreigner drink your new wine, for which you have labored. But those gathering it shall eat it, and praise Yahweh, and those collecting it shall drink it in my set-apart courts. Pass through the gates, prepare the way for the people. Build up the highway, remove the stones, lift a banner for the peoples. See, Yahweh has proclaimed to the end of the earth. Say to the daughter of Zion, see, your deliverance has come. See, his reward is with him, and his work before him. And they shall be called the set-apart people, the redeemed of Yahweh. And you shall be called sought out, a city not forsaken. Psalm 62. My being finds rest in Elohim alone. From him is my deliverance. He alone is my rock and my deliverer, my strong tower. I am not greatly shaken. How long would you shout at a man? Murder, like a leaning wall, a tottering fence. They plan to topple him from his high position. They delight in lies. They bless with their mouth, but in their heart they curse. Selah. My being, find rest in Elohim alone, because my expectation is from him. He alone is my rock and my deliverance, my strong tower. I am not shaken. My deliverance and my esteem depend on Elohim. The rock of my strength, my refuge is in Elohim. Trust in him at all times, you people. Pour out your heart before him. Elohim is a refuge for us. Selah. Sons of Adam are but a breath. Sons of men are a lie. If weighed on the scales, they are altogether lighter than breath. Do not trust in oppression, and do not become vain in robbery. If riches increase, do not set your heart on them. Elohim has spoken once, twice I have heard this, that strength belongs to Elohim. And loving commitment is yours, O Yahweh, for you reward each one according to his work. Luke chapter 18. And he spoke a parable to them, that they should always pray and not lose heart, saying, in a certain city there was a certain judge, not fearing Elohim nor regarding man. And a widow was in that city, and she came to him, saying, do right to me on my adversary. And he would not for a while, but afterward he said within himself, even if I do not fear Elohim nor regard man, yet because this widow troubles me, I shall do right to her, lest by her continual coming she wears me out. And the master said, hear what the unrighteous judge said. And shall Elohim not do right by all means to his own chosen ones, who are crying out day and night to him, and being patient over them? I say to you that he shall do right to them speedily. And when the son of Adam comes, shall he find the belief on the earth? And he also spoke this parable to some who relied on themselves, and that they were righteous, and looking down on others. 2 men went into the set-apart place to pray, the one a Pharisee and the other a tax collector. The Pharisee stood and began to pray with himself this way, Elohim, I thank you that I am not like the rest of men, swindlers, unrighteous, adulterers, or even as this tax collector. I fast twice a week. I give tithes of all that I acquire. But the tax collector, standing at a distance, would not even raise his eyes to the heaven, but beating his breast, saying, Elohim, show favor unto me, a sinner. I say to you, this man went down to his house declared right, rather than the other. For everyone who is exalting himself shall be humbled, and he who is humbling himself shall be exalted. They also brought infants to him to touch them, but his taught ones, seeing it, rebuked them. But Yeshua called them to him and said, let the little children come to me, and do not forbid them, for of such is the reign of Elohim. Truly I say to you, whoever does not receive the reign of Elohim as a little child shall certainly not enter into it. And a certain ruler asked him, saying, good teacher, what shall I do to inherit everlasting life? So Yeshua said to him, why do you call me good? No one is good except one, Elohim. You know the commands, do not commit adultery, do not murder, do not steal, do not bear false witness, respect your father and your mother. And he said, all these I have watched over from my youth. And hearing this, Yeshua said to him, yet one you lack. Sell all that you have and distribute to the poor, and you shall have treasure in heaven. And come, follow me. But when he heard this, he became intensely sad, for he was extremely rich. And when Yeshua saw that he became intensely sad, he said, how hard is it for those who have money to enter into the reign of Elohim? For it is easier for a camel to enter through a needle's eye than for a rich man to enter into the reign of Elohim. And those who heard it said, and who is able to be saved? And he said, what is impossible with men is possible with Elohim. And Kepha said, see, we have left all and followed you. And he said to them, truly I say to you, there is no one who has left house or parents or brothers or wife or children for my sake, and for the sake of the reign of Elohim, who shall not receive many times more in this present time, and in the age to come everlasting life. And taking the 12 aside, he said to them, see, we are going up to Jerusalem, and all that has been written by the prophets about the Son of Adam shall be accomplished. For he shall be delivered up to the nations, and shall be mocked and insulted and spat upon. And having flogged him, they shall kill him, and on the 3rd day he shall rise again. But they understood none of this, and this word was hidden from them, and they did not know what was being said. And it came to be that as he was coming near Jericho, that a certain blind man was sitting by the way begging. And hearing a crowd passing by, he asked what it meant. And they reported to him that Yeshua of Nazareth was passing by. And he cried out, saying, Yeshua, son of David, have compassion on me. And those going before were rebuking him, that he should be silent. But he was crying out much more, Son of David, have compassion on me. And Yeshua stopped and commanded him to be brought to him. And when he had come near, he asked him, saying, What do you wish me to do for you? And he said, Master, to receive my sight. And Yeshua said to him, Receive your sight, your belief has saved you. And immediately he received his sight and was following him, praising Elohim. And all the people, seeing it, gave praise to Elohim.